Now let's talk about how this course is set up. Whenever you log onto Blackboard, you will see a menu on the left-hand side of the screen with important links. You will want to check the announcements and the online classroom often to make sure you are up to date. You can also access the syllabus and schedule, your course content, your ebook, your financial calculator, and your grades. Whenever you purchase the digital access for the textbook, it will include the ebook and some of your homework assignments. When you click on this e-textbook link, it will either ask you to purchase access online or enter an access code. You can buy the online access here. Now notice this link for contacting me. When you send me an email, please use the link titled Contact Instructor to initiate the email. This is important because it sends the email to my T2 email with a special tagline telling me that it's from one of my students. I respond to my students first, so make sure that the special tag is there. Otherwise, it may take longer to get a response. To send me an email, click Contact Instructor, then Start Email here, and All Instructor Users. Now you can compose your email. I'll typically check my email around 1 p.m., so if you contact me in the late afternoon or evening, you can expect a response the next day. Unless it's Friday afternoon or the weekend, then I'll respond Monday morning. Blackboard should always be your first method for contacting me. Please stick to this rule if at all possible. If at any point you are unable to access Blackboard, you can email me by responding to a previous email that I've sent you. Just make sure that the tagline is there. Once you have exhausted all of these options, then you can email me through TechMount. As part of this course, you will download Microsoft Skype for Business if you have not done so already. I will be conducting office hours through Skype on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 p.m. until 1:50 p.m. and 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. I will also be available to meet in person during that time in Human Sciences, Building 2, Room 272. When you click on the Contact Instructor link, you will see a link to my office hours, or you can find me in Skype. Send me a chat. I encourage you to use the online classroom for more general questions and use email for personal questions. Everyone can benefit from the general questions if you ask them in the online classroom. If the question is specific to the course material, then you should ask it in the unit discussion board. We will talk more about this later. Now let's look at the home page. This is a very important page as it has the course content folder, your exam folder, and your extra credit opportunities folder. Now let's look at the syllabus and schedule. You can access the documents here. You will need to get your calculator before we begin Unit 1. I will teach you how to use the BA2 Plus or the BA2 Plus Professional. If you choose to get a different calculator, know that I will not be able to help you learn how to use it. You may also use the online financial calculator located here, or use an app on your phone. Now let's look at the schedule. Please print this off and keep it handy. The schedule should become your best friend. It answers all the basic questions of what is due and when. You may want to mark the open dates and deadlines down in the calendar so you do not miss an assignment. As discussed in the syllabus, I do not accept late work except for the projects, which will be accepted up to the late deadline with a 10% penalty. After the deadline listed on the schedule, no additional assignments will be accepted. Once again, only projects will be accepted as late work. No other late work is available. Of course, you are probably wondering how this class is graded. There are 1,000 points possible in this course, so it's pretty easy to determine where you stand. Any extra credit points will not show up in your total in Blackboard and will need to be added in manually when calculating your grade. I want to emphasize that the learning opportunities are the best time to get lots of feedback, not the evaluations. I'll be happy to give you feedback for your projects. Just leave a note in the comments section when you submit. I will not be giving specific feedback for the evaluations. There is research behind this method and we found it to be a good method. Now let's look inside your folder for Unit 0. Here you will find a list of the learning goals for this unit, as well as what you should learn after completing the unit. You will also find a list of readings for this unit. Once you have finished reading for each unit, you will want to move on to your assignments. After you watch your videos, you can start your DSMs or flashcards. They will be due first. You must complete each set of flashcards to receive full credit. You will not receive partial credit for this assignment, so make sure you complete each set. Afterwards, you will see a check in your gradebook after completion. Note that there are no flashcards for Unit 0. Your participation questions will be due next. You must answer all of these 100% as well to receive the credit. The good news is you have as many attempts as needed until you score 100%, so keep trying. Next, you will have a week before your project is due. Most of the projects are case-based and relate to real-life situations you may find yourself in where your skills will come in handy. Situations like making large purchases, deciding on investing in retirement planning, or protecting yourself with proper insurance. I recommend using these 7 days to work ahead on the project so you may ask questions in the discussion board for whichever unit you are working on. I can't stress enough how important the discussion boards are, so be sure to utilize them. I sometimes give extra credit points to the students who are active in discussion boards and to those who are helpful to others. Be sure you check the discussion board before you ask a question because your question may already be answered there. You should also post your questions in the discussion board before emailing me so that everyone could benefit. You may submit the project multiple times before the due date, and I will try to grade early submissions and give feedback so that you may rework any mistakes and resubmit for a chance at a higher score. You may also submit the project as many times as necessary before the due date, so make good use of this opportunity. I mentioned that I offer extra credit. I'll explain more about this as the semester progresses, but think of extra credit as insurance from your grade. Similar to purchasing auto insurance to protect yourself in the event of an accident, you should invest in extra credit to protect yourself against crazy life events. I provide a lot of extra credit at the beginning of this course, so make sure to insure yourself with as many points as possible by taking advantage of the extra credit opportunities. You will regret it later if you are 15 points away from the next letter grade and you missed 20 points of extra credit at the beginning of the semester. Once the opportunities are gone, they are gone. I will not accept late work, so don't ask me to. That includes extra credit. Notice that you already have an extra credit assignment open until Friday, where you can gain 10 points for completing Unit 0. Now, make sure that you read over the full syllabus and complete Unit 0 as soon as possible, as you will not have access to Unit 1 until you complete everything in Unit 0. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. I look forward to this semester and the discussions we will have together. Good luck to you. Let's make this a great semester.